Hey guys, Gathering Magic back again, and it's time for another edition of the Splinterlands Market Watch. This is episode number 18, and today is August 25th, 2024. So, as we always do, we're going to go over all the different token prices, pack prices, card prices, all that good stuff, go set by set. So, starting with the tokens, as you guys know, if you've been following Splinterlands lately, SPS has had a nice little rebound. 2 weeks ago, when I did the market watch on the 10th, SPS was just over half a cent, and we were kind of holding between just below and just above half a penny. In the last 2 weeks, we've kind of spiked up in price. We're almost to 3/4 of a cent as of today. Vouchers as well have taken a good turn. When I picked up a bunch of vouchers a couple weeks ago, they were just under a penny at like 0.009. I wanted to load up on vouchers because I knew that I wouldn't be able to going forward, that they were probably bottomed out at just under a penny, and a lot of people would be moving their vouchers in game and probably wouldn't have many for sale. And this is the last time that you would be able to move vouchers out of game. So now currently vouchers are only available through SPS staking and through having validator nodes. So the only other way you can get vouchers is to purchase what is currently on Hive and Tribal decks, and once that amount there is gone, that is it. So they will have a liquidity pool for vouchers, but we'll see how much you can actually earn from that. So vouchers went from just under 9/10 of a cent, and currently they're just under 1.5 cents. So that is the voucher price for DEC. 1,000 DEC 2 weeks ago was at 0.641, and now we're hovering right around 0.7, so about 70 cents for 1,000 DEC. So asset prices are definitely going up for the tokens. Looking at vouchers, the reason we had that big spike is a lot of the vouchers got moved in game. A lot of them got taken off of SPS chain. So currently all vouchers are either directly in game or they're on Hive and Tribal decks. So I think all that movement is what caused the spike to go from 12.6 to 14.5 million vouchers. So over the last 2 weeks, you can see we gained almost 2 million vouchers, which is 127,000 a day. And of course, we only print 40,000 a day. As far as SPS burning goes, the last 2 weeks, we've burned just over 444,000 SPS, or just under 30,000 SPS a day. And you can see the total amount of SPS is now at 2.875 billion tokens. Okay, so moving on to packs. So how have pack prices gone in the last 2 weeks? So alpha packs 2 weeks ago, the cheapest in game was selling for, or they were asking $63. Currently, I believe there's 3 packs available for sale, and the low offer, the low price is $40. So if you're looking to pick up couple alpha packs for under 50 bucks, there are, I believe, 3 on the market, and then after that it jumps back up to 60 bucks. Over the last 2 weeks, the amount of packs available went up by 4, so I don't know if they were moved from a different chain, but there's just over 4,200 alpha packs left. Beta price went up a little bit, went from just under 7 to 850 currently in game, and the amount of packs fell by 15. Untamed went from $4.65 to $7. So if you're looking to pick up an untamed pack, now may not be the greatest time. Seeing where it was 2 weeks ago, pack price, or the total number of packs went from 44,258 down to 44,239. So 19 packs have been opened. Dice, the price was pretty much the same, basically unchanged. 11 fewer packs available there. For Orb fell from $11 to $9.40. 40 packs were opened over the last 2 weeks. Chaos Legion has been sitting right between about 32 and 36 cents for the last couple of weeks. Hasn't really fluctuated a whole lot. Currently, they're at 35 cents a pack, and over the last 2 weeks, we've opened just under 19,000 Chaos Legion packs. So you can see we still have over 2 million unopened packs that are floating out there in the Splinterverse. Rift Watchers held steady, $2 for the last 2 weeks. 204 packs have been open. And then as far as Rebellion Rebellion continues to hold its pack price, so just under $3. 2 weeks ago it was sitting at $2.66, but the Rebellion packs really aren't selling very much. I mean, you can see in the last 2 weeks we sold just over 4,600 packs, so just over 300 a day. The previous 2 weeks it wasn't even 300 a day. So Rebellion, even though it's really holding its value, people seem to really like the cards. The gold foils are few and far between, especially for the legendaries. Not many are selling on the market. Okay, going for sets. So we're starting with Alpha. As you can see, this huge spike in price for a common. There was one of the commons that was bought out. I believe it was the Minotaur card for green for Earth, and that card, there was a single copy relisted for $82.62. So as I've mentioned in previous Market Watch videos, for certain cards the liquidity can be very, very low. Someone can come in, buy out the few cards that are available, and then relist it for whatever price they want. So if they get that price is another thing, but it just shows how quickly the market can move. Rares were basically unchanged. The high end of epics went up from $5 to $6, and your legendaries are basically the same. So an alpha legendary ranges from $19 to $175. For your gold foils, not a whole lot of movement in the gold foils as well. There was a buyout on one of the gold foil commons. That's why you can see the max price went up to $8.24. All the other gold foils were basically the same as they were 2 weeks ago. For the promo cards, not a whole lot of movement. Common will cost you just over $3. The Dragon Rare will cost you $19. The Epic is $49. The Legendary did come down in price from $5.25 down to $400. And then for the promos, pretty much the same for the Common and the Epic. The Rare did come down significantly in price. It was $119 2 weeks ago. Now they're asking $45. And there is a Legendary for sale for just under $2,000 if you're looking for a Legendary Gold Foil Alpha Promo. Okay, moving on to Beta. In Beta we had kind of the same situation. A lot of the cards are basically the same price, but then you have an occasional buyout. So there was a Beta card. Let me look real quick and see which one it was that was bought out. So one of the Beta rares, they bought all of them out and relisted it for a ridiculously high price. And that card was the Stone Splitter Orc. So there's a single copy on the market, and they're asking $42. Other than that, the next highest card is Elric Stormbringer. When I did the data earlier, he was sitting under $4. Currently, there is one for $5, and it looks like a Cyclops has also been bought out on the market. This should be like a 10 or 15 cent card. There's two on the market now, and they're asking $5.51. So once again, someone can come in, clean out the market, and then really raise their the price of the card. Legendaries. The reason the legendary card, the high is $129, is it is not a single BCX, it is Volnamore. And if you look on the market for Volnamore, the cheapest one, $129, is for 3 BCX. There are no single BCX copies on the marketplace. There are 3 copies that are 3 BCX, 2 that are 5 BCX, and the rest are all max level. So sometimes the price can be a little bit misleading because this is not a single BCX. For your gold foil commons, pretty much the ranges are the same. A gold foil common is going to cost you just above $1 to $10. Gold foil rare about $6 to $40. An epic just under $30 to just over $100. And then your gold foil legendary $250 to $2,500 is the range for a gold foil legendary beta card. For the promos, the common promo just went up slightly in price from 25 to 29 cents. Your rare fell from 24 to 16. So it's kind of funny that the rare card is actually cheaper than the common, but the common card is a summoner, so that's why it has some higher demand. The epic just fell slightly from 98 to 90 cents. And then your legendary cards, Red Dragon, once again, it didn't jump single BCX up to 28.90. The cheapest one on the marketplace is a 5 BCX copy, so that's why that's $28.90. Prince Julian came down slightly to just over $2,800. Archmage Arius is sitting at $575. For your gold foil promos, common, the Summoner went from $5 to $14, so there was kind of, I don't want to say a buyout, but there was a significant price hike for the beta common. I'm looking at it right now just to make sure it is still there. So let's look at common. Yep, so he is still there. There is a single copy for $14. Actually, that one is multiple BCX. So there's a 2 BCX one for $14, a single copy for $15, one for $20, and then it jumps up to $44.45. So there's only 6 cards available on the market. One of them is maxed out, and they're asking just under $200. Okay, for your gold foil rare, just fell slightly, basically unchanged from 13 to 12. Gold foil epic stayed right around 47. And then for your gold foil legendary promos, the only one available is the Red Dragon, and it's still sitting at $685. Okay, moving on to Untamed. Not a lot of change in the base cards other than the legendary. Now, one thing that you will notice right away is Kitty, that 2 weeks ago was $42, is sitting at $254.99. And that is not for a multiple BCX, that is for a single copy. And it's probably because it is the only copy on the market. So I am going to double check and make sure that it is still there. From the time I did all the data, yes, there is a single copy of Byzantine Kitty, 1 BCX for $242. After that, there is a 3 BCX copy for $255, and then a max copy for $600. When I did the data crunch earlier, there was another max copy, and it was, I believe, just under $400. So that one has been snatched up, so now there's only 3 copies of Kitty on the marketplace. Some other key cards to look at. Llama had a big price spike over the last 2 weeks. It had been sitting at $25, now it's at $42. Jotun came down a little bit from $65 to $55. And then Kron continues to fall. You know, for a long time he was right in that $10 to $12 range. Then he was sitting 8 to 9. Now he's drifted down to $640. So if Kron is a card that you're interested in, you know, this is the lowest price I think that I've seen since I started doing the Market Watch. And that was about, what, 6 months ago now. Okay, so for your gold foil legendaries, Kitty, you can see, came down a little bit from just under $800 to just under $700. Llama went up slightly from $275 to $269. Gold foil Jotun went from $1,000 to $766. And Kron is basically unchanged from just over $210 to just under $210. For your promos, the Epic Halfling Alchemist just fell a few cents from $179 to $173. Chain Golem went down slightly from basically $16 to $12. The Mighty Dricken, they were asking almost $900 for that card, which is kind of ridiculous. Now it's maybe a more reasonable $150. So we'll see if this price holds or if it'll drift lower in the next couple of weeks. Then the gold foil versions were basically unchanged. The Chain Golem's slightly cheaper. Moving on to dice. So for your dice commons, you can see the price of the high end fell from 22 to 13. For the rares, which are your summoners, so Mylor was $1 2 weeks ago. Now he is sitting at 78 cents. I'm going to check that real quick to see if that has changed at all. But if you're looking to pick up some summoners for wild, don't forget about dice. So Mylar is currently sitting at 90 cents. Lorna Shine's at 40, as is Bright and Bloom. Ouster is sitting at 30 cents. And then the ones that nobody loves, Quid Yuff and Vera, are both sitting at 10 cents. So 10 cents for a summoner, even if it doesn't have the best abilities, you know, to be able to get one that cheap, especially for wild, just to give you a 3 mana cost summoner, might be a good deal, might be something to check out, especially Vera with that snare. You know, as we get more and more flying creatures, you know, that might be Kind of an overlooked summoner. For your epics, pretty much the same price, and then for the legendaries, let me check real quick to see what movement we had for the legendary cards. Epona still sitting at $42. Crawlus, which for quite a while I believe was like 15 to 25, right in that range, is sitting at $9. And then for your gold foil cards, gold foil commons are very reasonably priced, 38 to 44 cents for gold foil common. Your rares, $1.50 to 10. Epics, very tight range, $8.50 to $10. And then your gold foil legendary cards, $60 up to $480. There are no gold foil Eponas on the market. Crawlus is sitting at $3.33, and Aganju, I believe that's how you pronounce it, the 1 mana fire monster, is sitting at $480. So extremely rare cards. Very little liquidity on the market. There's less than 7 copies of any of the legendaries on the marketplace. Okay, and then moving to Orb. Another small set, as you can see, not really a whole lot of movement in the prices. For the Orb legendaries, they did go down in price a little bit, from $18.75 down to $12. So if you're looking to pick up some legendary cards from an older set at a decent price, definitely check out Orb. So there's only 3 legendaries in that set. So Lord of Fire is sitting at $4.50, Minotaur Warlord at $5.90, and then Corrupted Pegasus at $12. And for the gold foil cards, you can see commons, a little over $1 to $2. Your gold foil rares, $8.64 to $11.52. There are no gold foil epics available for sale for the 2nd week in a row. And then for your legendaries, gold foil, the only ones available are the Minotaur Warlord for $700 and a Corrupted Pegasus for $1,400. Okay, moving on to Chaos Legion. So this is going to be new because this is the first time for the Market Watch that we have the new Soulbound cards that are available to be unlocked and placed on the marketplace. So I now have another section here so you can see what the previous price was and the current price is. So we'll track these in the coming weeks. For the base set, not a whole lot of movement for Chaos Legion, except for the legendary cards. So if I look at the legendaries, they range in price from 38 cents, and the highest price, and it has changed since I did the data, is Possibilis at just under $9. So Possibilis is the hot card in the set for Chaos Legion for the 2 weeks, and you can see the range of the Soulbound cards. So currently the commons are selling for 4 cents across the board. The rares are selling for 15 or 16 cents. The epics are 78 to 79 cents. And then the legendaries are $3.75 to just under $4. So as the unlock price goes up over the next coming 6 months, we'll see if the floor raises for any of these cards. So this might be the cheapest any of these cards are. I know a lot of talk has been that, the people that needed these cards are picking them up now, so there won't be any demand in the future. I disagree. I think there's always going to be new players coming in. There's always going to be people, even if they're been active players for quite a while, that may not have the funds right now and may pick them up later, even if they are a little more expensive simply because of finances, or maybe players coming back to the game after a brief hiatus. They may come back and say, hey, I want to pick up some of these legendary cards, and being able to pick up some pretty decent legendary cards for right around $4, maybe $5, they won't even think twice about that. So we'll take a look and see how these prices change over the next few weeks. For the gold foil commons, not a whole lot of movement there. One card I did want to point out is one of the gold foil epics. The $30 one is one of the Soulbound. So the Soulbound have been selling in the $17 to $30 range. But one anomaly that was for the gold foil epics was, if I can check this out real quick, see if he is still there or if he has been sold. I think it is gone. There was a gold foil Wave Brood that was selling for, I believe, $18. and that card is gone. So someone bought a gold foil wave brood, because I do not see it on the market. But yep, so currently for the new gold epics, they're currently, as of right now, $17 to $28 is the current price for those. And then for your legendary cards, as you can see, for the Soulbound, they're ranging anywhere from $91 to $140. So we'll see how this changes over the coming weeks and months. And as I said earlier, with the unlock prices going higher, if DEC keeps trending up and going closer up to peg, these prices should move up just so people can break even and maybe make a slight profit. Okay, moving on to the promo cards. For the two commons, the Bear and Bruise, little bit of a bump for the Bear. He went from 5 to 8 cents, and Bruise fell from 11 down to 9. Gold foils drifted a little bit lower. Bruise did go from just under $3.50 to $2. One of the cards that really took a nice bump up was the Osure card. So she almost doubled in price, going from $6.80 to $12.38. Dr. Blight stayed basically the same, right around 12. Zerial had that big jump in price 2 weeks ago where she went from about 15 to 34. That has come back down to where she has been over the last 2 months, right around $16. Waka, so if you want a Waka, which is max level, you can pick one up for $100. And there is a Lux Vega for $162. And then looking at the gold foil versions, Osure, even though the regular card went up, almost doubled, the gold foil dropped from 89 to 71. The gold foil Dr. Blight, this might actually be a very good price. Went down from 210. There's currently one for under $60, so I don't think that's going to last very long. So if you are watching this Market Watch video and you are unaware that there's a gold foil Dr. Blight available for that cheap, now you know. So if that's a card you're interested in, you are the first one to know. The first one to know that watches a video can have the first opportunity for snagging that card. Okay, gold foil Zerial fell slightly from 165 to 150. And then two cards that have not been on the Market Watch very much at all. A gold foil Waka, which I haven't seen in a couple of months, selling for just under $900. And then this might be the second time I think I've ever seen a gold foil Lux available for sale. And there's one for sale for $4,000. And that is it for Chaos Legion. So now for Rift Watchers, we can go over this very quickly. You can see the prices here. Not a whole lot of movement in the cards. They're pretty much holding steady. The high-end legendary cards are still holding, between $15 and $19 for Rift Watchers. And for your gold foils, you can see they range in price from $20 to $1.20 for the commons, 77 cents to $4 for the rares. Gold foil epics, which are the summoners, $3.50 to $10 may not be a bad price for an epic gold foil summoner. And then your legendaries go from just over $30 to just under $300. All right, so let's wrap this up with Rebellion. Once again, for the normal cards, the non-gold foil, you can see not a whole lot of movement. You can see the price ranges here. Legendaries going from just over $3 to $23. Your gold foil commons, 40 cents to just over $3. Rares, $2 to 16. Your epics, 14. 135 is once again because there was only a single copy available. Normally you'd be in about the $25 range for the high end for a gold foil epic. And then for your gold foil legendaries, more realistic prices. You don't have the single copies that they're asking like $600 to $900 for. Now I feel this is more of a fair range between $80 for some of the low-end legendaries up to $275. So let's take a look at some key cards. So Kai actually bumped up pretty good. The regular foil went from $573 to $725, but the gold foil dipped from $135 to $80. So you had a spike in the regular foil and pretty decent drop for the gold foil. A Kane had another nice increase this week from $11.50 up to $18. The gold foil only fell about $10. Rage stayed the same at just under $17. The gold foil went up $25 to $275. Darg had a big increase as well, going from $15 to $23. But the gold foil is available for under $100. So this is one of the, I think, stronger cards in the set. So it's surprising to me that it has one of the cheapest gold foils. Once again, if you're watching this Market Watch video and you were unaware that there's a gold foil darg for under 100 bucks, now you know. Venka, look at this, guys. 20 bucks 2 weeks ago. When I did the data, there were no Venkas on the market. Let me go back. I will double check as I am recording this. We will go to Rebellion. We will go to Legendary and see if anyone has listed a Venka. There are 2 available, and I see it for $29. So let me change this and put 29, which is still a very big increase, going from 20 to 29. And like I said, when I went through and got the numbers about 2 to 3 hours ago, there were none on the market. So very low liquidity for Venka. The gold foil went from 170 to 185, and I believe there was only a single copy of that as well. Lorcas went up from 14 to 16. There was a single copy. They were asking ridiculous $600+. Now it's down to 170. That's more realistic. And then Cryptic went from 14 to 25, and the gold foil is right around $120. And then finally, for your promo cards, Grimbarden Smith. I thought this card was going to continue to drift lower. I thought maybe it would actually go to $2 or below. Actually went up to $2.75, so it had a little bit of a rebound. I wanted to point out the gold foil version. I saw it at $208, and I'm like, wow, for a gold foil. But that is for a 7 BCX. So once again, there were no single copies of gold foil Grimbarden Smiths on the market. Mantaroth went up from 35 to 40. His gold foil stayed at 185. The Enforcer dropped from 65 cents to 57, and the gold foil dropped quite a bit from just over $7 to just under 5. And then finally, Baron Fiat went from 421 up to $7, and the gold foil went from 105 to 87. So one last thing that I want to do, because I just thought of it now, is Eternal Tofu is sitting at 1969. So I want to make sure I put that because that is a new card out. So we've got Tofu. Previously was not there. Now it is sitting at 1969 because that's definitely a card that we want to track as well. And what is a gold foil version of Tofu going for? 164.91. So make sure I have that. So I have record of that for next week. Okay, guys, there you have it. So there's all the key cards. Couple of takeaways. For one, some of the cards are drying up off the market. Some of the high-end legendary cards, there's not single BCX available. Voldemort comes to mind, as does Kitty. Some other promo cards like Grimbarden Smith, there is only a 7 BCX copy. So, you know, there are times where you just want to pick up 1 BCX of a legendary card to just kind of finish it off. It may not be available, you know, so it's one of those things where are you going to buy multiple copies of it, or are you just going to have to wait until a single copy becomes available? So the market is thin. I know probably in the next few months they're going to start their marketing campaign. If we start getting a few hundred players, if we even get, and I've mentioned this, I believe, to Dwayne, if we get 20 to 25 players that come in that are big spenders that want to spend, you know, $1,000 or so to build a deck, even with some overprinted sets like Chaos Legion, they can completely wipe out the market, and prices will change drastically if and when that happens. So exciting times ahead. Definitely things are looking up from the token aspect. I think the game is definitely heading in the right direction, and excited to see how we close out 2024 in Splinterlands. So hope you guys are doing well. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comments below. And until next time, stay the course, keep on forging, have fun. I'll see you soon. Take care.